guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Being Human for Werewolf Monday. And we found out last week that this is the last season of Being Human, so I just want to say I'm very glad I was able to review all of the last season for Werewolf Monday and for my channel, because it's going to be sad to see the series go. But you kind of saw the tone of the season, it kind of made sense. So I think they were planning this whole time to make this their final season. It didn't get canceled. It's ending. And a lot of people I saw on Twitter is like, oh no, Being Human got canceled. It's ending. They're ending the show. They know they wanted to end the show. Their ratings are really good for sci-fi. So the cast, the crew, they're saying they wanted to end the show. And they knew that from the beginning of the season. So I'm happy with that. I don't want the show to go downhill and have no ideas. I'd rather end at a time like this. I think we're up to season 4, obviously. And that's a pretty good time for a show. Even though this is only 13 episode order each season. But it's been a fun ride all the way through, which we'll talk about as the last 5 episodes do air. But let's talk about this episode, which is called Rewind, which is perfect. And let me just start out by saying that I felt like this was a fan fiction come true episode. A lot of things that happened, I really thought this was like a prompt for her fan fiction. First of all, Sally becomes a werewolf in this episode because she goes back in time and she doesn't die. But she still wants Aidan and Josh to come together, live in the house. Things go wrong because she changes the past, the butterfly effect. They don't mention that in the episode, but it's obvious it's the butterfly effect. She's changing things. She falls in love with Aidan. Instead of Nora becoming a wolf, she does. So Nora doesn't end up with Josh in the end, and Josh goes a little bit Looney Tune and goes with the what's his name? The person who changed him into a werewolf, who he killed like season 2, season 3. So I did like this episode, but again, it's very fan fiction-y in a way. A lot of things that we want Sally and Aidan to be together. I know the fandom really wants that, which I don't mind that. I think it happened really quickly here, but the chemistry's always been there. And could it work in the present time? It didn't work in the past because everything changed because of it. But could it work after everything's fixed? And how will Sally fix all of this? And then Sally becoming a werewolf. Again, these feels like prompts for, you know, something that would never happen on TV, but, you know, a fan would write about. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I kind of like the alternate world of Being Human. How about the little things changed? How about Sally wasn't truly a ghost, but still knew everything that happened? How about if Nora never became a wolf? She never falls in love with Josh. So let's go character by character here. And one thing about this episode, it's not 3 story arcs. It's one arc, which is something that really doesn't happen with Being Human. Usually it's 3 story arcs that kind of come together. This one's definitely one arc for this episode. So Sally, we get to see how different Sally is. How much she grew. We get to see a lot of how these characters grew, which is something I love about these type of episodes, is that nostalgic feel. It's going back to the pilot, and especially for our last season, you need this nostalgic episode. Say, I remember that. Oh, that's cute. Kind of like a montage in a way, but for an hour. And, you know, it makes us feel again why we fell in love with this show. It's always great to go back into the past, especially since you're trying to end a show. You always have to look back in the past. So, seeing how much Sally has grown. She's the character that really has grown the most throughout the show, especially personality-wise. And she's like, I'm not gonna die. And she does that. And she changes everything without thinking. That's Sally. She changes stuff without thinking. So even though she has changed throughout the seasons, she's still Sally. And I love that about this episode. She does not think before she changes things like, oh, maybe this will actually affect our friendship or affect things. No, she just wants to change everything, that way everyone's happy. But again, in the long run, that might not make people happy. And we see that in Josh. He leaves and he doesn't end up with Nora. Talking about Josh, let's talk about Josh. I liked him in this episode. I feel like there's not much to talk about with Josh, except that, yeah, Nora grounded him, and his friendship with Aidan grounded him. We get to see that bromance. Again, a lot of fan fiction themes here. Aidan, I love that he was happy, and with Sally, you know, again, that's something that a lot of people wanted. It seems like what I saw with summaries for future episodes, they might explore it, and I think by the end we'll see an endgame with Sally and Aidan being together. I just see that they're setting up here, saying it's possible. Sally will say, hey, we have chemistry, and it'll work in the present because you're not doing any butterfly effects in the past. Last character is Nora. I like Nora's character here. She obviously didn't do much, but I like the story of how Nora did change Josh so much, and how her becoming a werewolf really affected their relationship for the better. So even though Josh thought that was a horrible thing, what he did, scratched her, ruined her life, it was actually the best thing that happened to them. So I really like that story overall, and it was nice to see Nora and that they didn't exclude her, because this episode could have excluded Nora, but it also just added to the fact that, you know, this changed things. Overall, I thought it was an okay episode. Nothing really on the edge of my seat like I have been with this season. Very fan-fiction-y in my opinion, but really fun at the same time. I love these alternate worlds. I love looking to the past, and it really shows how these characters have grown so much. So, I'm going to give this episode 4 stars. I enjoyed it. Thought it was very solid. Hope you guys enjoyed. This is Comic Uno, and guys, don't forget to follow me on Twitter for Comic Uno and my rant situations, and don't forget to like my Facebook page, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.